Hey everybody. I just wanted to get on here really quick and just chat for a little bit. There has been so much going on, and I know that there's a lot of heaviness that a lot of us are feeling, just like the emotional charge, the back and forth of negativity on social media, depression, everything going on down here in Texas. It's a much better day today, so I'm very grateful for that. The sun is out. It's much warmer today. I think we might have another day or two where it gets a little bit cooler, but we're okay. Our pipes are not frozen. I had a couple of neighbors, I think, who said their water wasn't running, and I was watching the grid where it goes by like zip code, and it tells you how the percentage of people in your zip code without power and all of that. So we are getting better. And I just wanted to get on here and share that. I know in Messenger there's a theme, and I really have to just like go with this because it's that uncomfortable space. You know, like you are where you are, there's this space in the middle, and then there's where you're going to, like that Mecca, that place where you want to be, or that thing you want to be, and that discomfort. That uncomfortable area is where the most growth happens and breakthrough happens. And so I'm just gonna, this is totally offbeat. It's not about my business. It's just something from the heart that I feel called to share. Give yourself credit. Give yourself credit. There are so many people in my inbox that I relate to on such a deep level. People see me on social media and they're like, oh, you're so positive, you're so happy, you're such a go-getter, you're so resilient, you're this and that. And I'm like, yes, but you could be too. Like, you didn't see the hell I went through to get to this space, and I still have days where I struggle. I still have days where getting out of bed seems like the most impossible task ever, but I find a way to get it done, right? Especially being a mom, like, we do what needs to be done. We just dig deeper, and it just happens. And on the days it doesn't happen, or it doesn't look picture perfect, or it doesn't look like the person on social media that we're comparing ourselves to, that's okay. It's not supposed to look like that. My life, my journey, my story is not supposed to look like yours. But my vulnerability and my openness and my space that I've created, where I share my story, right? I share my life. I share bits and pieces of my struggle, my joy, my happiness, my triumphs. It's supposed to empower someone else to do the same. I don't want you to mirror my life. I don't want you to mirror my recovery. I don't want you to mirror my mistakes. I want to share them so someone can learn from them and apply them and move forward. That's all I want. And to the people who are in bed struggling with pain today, struggling getting out of bed today, know that I'm proud of you for waking up. I'm proud of you for getting up to wash your face. I'm proud of you for eating something. I'm proud of you for trying. Because there are many of you out there, and each of you have this common thread that is so uniquely intertwined into my life, where it's just like, you're not alone. This pain is not exclusive to you. There are so many people who need you to show them how to get through it. So we need you to get through it first. You are important. You are valuable. You are precious. You are worthy. You are not any less special than someone online posting that they made $500 million in crypto yesterday, or someone else posting that they just took a family vacation when you're stuck in your apartment because of COVID, or that next person sharing about they lost their job, they lost their home, they lost their farm, they haven't been able to feed their kids. A mother just died trying to warm up her kids in Texas here in her car from carbon monoxide poisoning. You know, like, there are so many things behind the scenes that people will never know, that they never see and they never think to compare about, because they're always fueling and feeding that part, that voice in the back of their mind that is telling them to compare, that they're not good enough, that they're insignificant, that they're not. Stop feeding the knots and start giving yourself credit for all that you are, for all that you've been, for all that you've survived, because you are no longer in those moments that we get stuck in. As someone who understands the complexity of anxiety, depression, PTSD, CPTSD, and all of those things from trauma and childhood and abuse and domestic violence and gaslighting and narcissism and parents who maybe aren't necessary for me, they weren't my parents, right? I wasn't raised by my parents, but caregivers who take advantage of the fact that you are their ward. You have survived all of that already. So now what are you going to do with it? Are you going to sit in that moment as though you are still that child, as though you are still that person wounded, freshly wounded in that incident, or are you going to take it, trace it, heal it, and move through it? Because the choice is yours. And I don't judge you. Whatever you decide to do, I don't judge you. But I just want you to, I challenge you. I challenge you to do something small for yourself today so that you can move forward. And if that's getting out of bed and washing your face, journaling, talking to a friend, texting a friend, watching a movie that makes you laugh, dancing in your kitchen to music that makes you feel good, deleting photographs that trigger memories that you're not ready to process yet, giving yourself permission to not be responsible for other people's feelings or actions. Do it. Because everything you have ever come up against, you have already survived it. I have days where I am like, I can't do this today. And then I start to have imposter syndrome because you guys are used to me showing up in a certain light. But this is real. Real life happens, and it's a part of the process. And I understand everyone does everything differently, but this is me. And I don't apologize for that. I won't apologize for that, because someone needs to hear what I have to say. Someone needs to know that if I can survive things that I've survived, if I can grow through things that I've been through that weren't pretty, that weren't setting me up for success, that weren't favorable, so can you. It won't look how my situation looks, but you can do it too. And I support you and I encourage you to do that. And, you know, I feel so, I feel so many things because these messages that I get in DM, most of the time they're from people who never publicly comment on things on my page. And I love that, right? Because it creates more of an intimate connection with a person. And the things that are shared do something for me too, because as they're telling me, oh my gosh, thank you for being there for me, or for guiding, or for helping, or for holding space, I'm recognizing people who helped me along the way when I was in my own darkness, and how they helped me get to this moment where I'm allowed to help someone else. And it doesn't have to be monetary. Sometimes people just need time, just need your attention, just need you to listen, just need you to give them a tip. What worked for you in this situation without minimizing what they're going through? The weight of everything going on in this state, in this world, and everything has been so heavy on me lately that I have been so unplugged. I have been recharging and resetting and trying to trace what it is I'm feeling down to the deepest layer, the root, so that I can heal and be a better woman, a better mother, a better friend, a better leader, a better mentor. All of these things, because I know there is more. And if we don't tell our story, we can't heal from it. And we tell it in whatever way that looks like. Some people go to therapy, go journaling, write books, whatever it may be. But you have to release the hold that it has on your body, because it's taking up space. And this is the biggest lesson that I've learned this past year, is that we store so much within our bodies that we're afraid to let it go, because we've gotten comfortable with it being in our body. We've gotten comfortable. We've gotten used to it. That lump in our throat. We've gotten used to that feeling in our stomach, that anxiety, right? Because we know how to prepare for it. But that unknown area of removing it, is so terrifying that we often hold on too long to the pain, the trauma, the thing, the emotion. And something that's working for me is saying, I release the emotion and I thank you for the lesson. I move forward with the lesson. And just breathing, right? So I know that this is long, and I have no idea who's going to watch this because it has nothing to do with my business. But someone needed to hear this, and I know that they did because my inbox tells me that they did. And I'm sorry I haven't been answering messages as quickly as I normally would have responded. But like I said, I've been recharging. There's been a lot going on here in Texas, a lot going on with me and my healing and my own stuff that I have going on. And I gave myself permission to give myself credit for how far I've come, give myself credit for the things that I'm managing and juggling and surviving and thriving through. And this was a time, and it still is, where I have to give myself credit to myself, because that's something that has been incredibly challenging for me to do. I've often felt more shame for getting credit, or more shame for being accomplished, or embarrassment for achieving something, doing something great, because I knew that there were people in the background wishing me ill, wishing harm, and all of that. And I didn't want them to feel uncomfortable, or people who were comparing. I didn't want them to feel certain things. But that is not this is not the season that I'm moving in. That is not the space I'm moving in anymore in this season. I'm moving through that because those people can either come with me or they can stay where they are, but it's not my responsibility anymore. But it is my responsibility to myself, to my child, to those who need to hear what I have to say. It's my responsibility to keep moving. And I just want to share that with you because we need you. We need you to show up. So take a step and give yourself credit. And there's going to be days where you just fall off track and you get behind. But remember, it doesn't matter. As long as you are still making progress, as long as you are still trying and loving and yeah. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now. I hear my kiddo downstairs, and I think it's probably time for me to cook again. But just know that you are loved, and you're not responsible for how anyone else feels about your healing, how you heal, how you live, how you survive. And you're not in that moment of trauma anymore. You've survived it. You're already on to this next moment. So be around people who can see that, appreciate that, and uplift you to that next level of whoever you are. That next stage where you can fully embrace your light, your glory, your awesomeness, your gift. We all have talent, skills, and abilities. So I really felt compelled to share that. Hell, this was for myself too, you know? But I love you guys, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'm still getting back to you guys in inbox, but know that I'm proud of you. Know that I'm still here. I'm a little slower replying, but I'm still here, and I will hold space for you, but I will not be a place for you to just dump all of your shit on me consistently without trying to make efforts to change, right? I will let you express all of the things that are going wrong. And then my next question to you is going to be, okay, so what are we going to do about it? What are your options? Do you need time? Do we need to address this later so that we can come up with a plan? But I'm not going to be a dumping post anymore for people, because sometimes people have taken advantage of my kindness and they dump all of their shit on me constantly, not even knowing if I'm in the space to receive or help. And then they go on about their life when things go good, and then I'm just I'm irrelevant to them. And I understand we plant a seed, water a seed, harvest. There's different stages and we each do something. But I'm moving out of this season because I've seen so many people where I'm the one helping them through all of the shit. And then when they find success, they find joy, they're out of depression, they get married, they do all of the great things, I never hear about it from them. And I love celebrating people. I love that goodness. I love that joy. So I say all of that to just say I'm here to hold space for people. I'm here to help people elevate their lives, be it in business, health, whatever. Even my soldiers and stuff still reach out to me. But after we have gotten through that initial stage of complaints, I'm not going to hold space for you to complain anymore. We're going to work through it, because complaining, it manifests more negativity. And you guys have heard me say that, even talking about my divorce. When I went through my divorce, I got to that point where I said I had to stop talking about it. People were asking, they wanted to know the drama, they wanted to know the tea, they wanted to know the gossip. And finally, when I started setting that boundary, is when everything started to change for me, around me, and what I was seeing and feeling and experiencing. Because our words, our intentions, what we're saying, what we're feeling, because every time I told that story of my divorce and how it transpired, it was so emotional. It was re-traumatizing to me every single time. But people didn't understand that. They just wanted to know why. They wanted to know how. They wanted to know the gossip. And then they said, oh, well, I just thought maybe you talking about it would help you feel better. No. I've talked about it enough. Now I'm on to this next stage. So can you help me into this next stage? Do you have any sage advice for me? Do you have wisdom for me that I can apply forward? If not, then let's just leave that alone and we'll move in this other direction, right? So, yeah. I hope that this helps someone. I hope this hit home for some of you that maybe needed it. Definitely not my normal message that I would share here, but yeah, I love you guys, and I will chat with you guys soon. Bye.